What's up guys, Venom here. Today I'm going to be going over why Drift Legends failed. Before we get into this video, I just want to let you all know I have nothing against Matrix or the developers of this game. I don't hate any of them. I've been watching Matrix for several years now. This is just my opinion of the game and why it failed. So for those of you who aren't aware, Drift Legends is a game made by Matrix. It used to be called Drifting Simulator. I'm sure you guys know it. But it's basically just a drift game on Roblox that was made by Matrix and its developer team. So the first reason it died, it was just really overhyped. Like, Matrix was saying, oh, it's going to be so sick, we're going to have like tons of areas, the cars are going to be super detailed, the customization's just going to be insane. He was doing like streams constantly a year ago or so, just like hyping it up, you know, car requests, and then videos were, he was just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be so cool, just making videos on it. And when it released, well, it was really buggy. Like, progress wasn't saving, the map was nothing like it was said. Like, they said they're gonna have Switzerland and like canyons, and none of that was there. It was just a city, and then a year later it's still not there. I honestly don't think it was gonna come anyways. So he was just hyping this game up like crazy, and then he'd be like, oh, it's about to come, and then it wouldn't come. He just ended up killing all the hype, and then when it finally released, everyone who was still hyped about it, it was just not a good game. So he just killed all the hype around it, and it was overhyped to begin with. Next up is, it rarely gets updated. Like, this game has been out for basically over a year now, and it's barely received any updates, like maybe 10 at the most, and these aren't like big updates or anything. If they were big, I'd understand, but you know, like, you get racing and just a few cars, so just, it doesn't get many updates now, and like, it's, even if it does, they're always just cars or some other small feature. Next is a low amount of customization. Like I said, when he was talking about this game, he's like, we're gonna have body kits and all sorts of stuff, and honestly, about all you can do to your car is put a wing on it, and then you can do some engine and modification, suspension, and then stance and camber. Now, that's fine, that's cool, I guess, but like, when you consider, he was like saying, oh, body kits and stuff like that. And another thing is, like, all-wheel drive drift cars, they're useless, and a lot of the cars are all-wheel drive, but you can't even convert it to rear-wheel drive, so it's just like useless. There's like barely any modifications that help drifting, and the rest are just completely stupid. Next is a low amount of cars. Now, this game does have 40 cars, but like, when you consider the fact that this game's been out a year, and these cars, they're not exactly the highest quality cars to ever exist. They're not bad, but they're just not like super fancy. I just don't understand it. It's like, he had like a whole car list of like 150 plus cars, and I'm not saying I expected all those to be added, but like, you would have thought he would have added more than like 40 in like a year and a half it's been out. Next reason, the game is just laggy. It was never really optimized properly. The map is not super big, but it's just laggy, and I don't even know why. The cars aren't very high quality. I guess the city is pretty nice, but I mean, that's about all. The only reason I could think it would be laggy. But yeah, the game just lags. It's like, it just lags. There's no other way to put it. It's honestly laggier than UD. Next reason is bad chassis. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of them work perfectly fine, like the R34. That's got a good chassis, but a lot of them for drifting are just no good. Like the Centenario, like, it's an all-wheel drive car. It can't drift. So why is that in a drift game? And then there's like the Regera. It's one gear, but it's so messed up because you hit the gas and it just has no power at low RPM, and then it gets to high and it suddenly just shoots off, and then you just spin out. It's like completely useless. And then other cars just can't drift at all, like the Hellcat, which has like tons of horsepower and it's rear wheel drive. That should be able to drift perfectly well, but no, it really can't. So the chassis just aren't very good. Like, some of them, as I said, they work really well and they're fun to use, but the majority, they're just either not drift cars and they can't drift, or they're just bad. Lastly, the game is extremely pay to win, which is something he said he had hoped to not get into, but he totally does. Like, he has all the passes, like 2 times credits, 2 times XP, 2 times luck, VIP, skip crate, just all those passes that just help increase money. And it just looks like a simulator shop, honestly. It's like Pet Simulator, but vehicle stuff. And I mean, it's just kind of annoying. This isn't like a massive deal, but it's just like, why? I mean, to make more money, I guess, but it's just, all in all, I was pretty disappointed. I mean, Drifting Sim, as it was originally called, it sounded so awesome. Like, all the body kits, the map, you know, there was going to be like England and Switzerland. It was just going to be sick. It never really came true. The whole thing just sort of fell apart. I mean, the developers have done a decent job, I guess. The game's pretty much dead now. I mean, 75 players on the weekend isn't that great. So it's just not gone too well. I mean, it's disappointing. I can't really see the game going anywhere else. Anyways, if you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. We're really close to 700. Like the video. I think I already said that. I don't know, whatever. And, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. And I'm out. Whatever. I need to figure out something to say. Well, bye.